minutes is the time limit on that, and try not to be repetitious different on that. And we will start from there. And the smiling face out there is number one, Miss Cody.
Good evening, board and district admin. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Robin Cody, and I'm a school counselor, a department chair, and mother of 3 successful RE1 graduates. Very proud mom. I am one of 5 speakers who are here tonight to introduce some concerns shared by many MCSD staff. I would like for you to see some of the people that we represent. So if any of you who are here tonight, would you please stand up? Thank you so much. I would also like to mention that because it is summer, many staff members who would be here in person are currently out of town. Though only 5 of us will speak concerning this, our concerns have been identified through extensive collaboration, and we are a unified message to the board tonight. As a background, I would like you to know how we came to the place of feeling the need to address the board. We understand that the school board supervises and evaluates the district superintendent, and our concerns are centered around that position and the influence that the district admin team's decisions have on our schools, staff, and student outcomes, which is what we all care about the most. We normally receive contracts before the end of the school year, but this year we received our contracts for the 24-25 school year on June 3rd, with the express instruction to sign them within only 15 days, or our jobs would be posted. That 15th day was yesterday. Due to the short time frame and the lack of adequate communication on the details of that contract, many teachers reached out to the district admin with many questions. When the answers we received were rushed, vague, and unsatisfactory, we felt the need to express our concerns in a way that we were sure to be heard. As we are all painfully aware, our nation, state, and district are in the midst of a teacher crisis. We are losing teachers and are literally not able to fill their positions with qualified staff or staff at all. The staff in this room tonight and the staff that support these letters are the people who pick up the slack, train new staff, take extra time, and try to keep the ship sailing. We are not here because of the pay or the recognition. We are here because we believe in these schools, we believe in our students and our community. We are professionals who work hard and give time, resources, and our hearts to what we do. And we need you as the board to be aware that a climate of distrust between school staff and the district admin is forming. Although there seem to be many avenues for communication and feedback, those committees and meetings do not result in any positive or needed change. For example, in the Superintendent's Advisory Committee, requests began in January for a survey allowing staff to give feedback to the district. Despite multiple requests, the survey was never provided this year, although it was for individual schools and was for the district last year. We wonder how we can hope to improve student outcomes when our district leaders do not value the perspective of our on-the-ground staff or allow it at all. It is hard to trust that the admin team will hear and consider our feedback unless it is heard by the board as well. Please note that our concerns and requests tonight center around the need to be respected as professional adults who we have proven to be, and as professionals who work with and care about our students and families and their outcomes, something that does not cost this district or community any money, but does make a huge difference in both positive adult behavior and positive student outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cody. Our next one is Megan Ferguson.
All right. Good evening, board. My name is Megan Ferguson. I just completed my first year of teaching, first year in the district, and will soon become your new district librarian. I also represent Emily Pearson, who had prior engagements. She is a Cortez graduate, has spent 15 years working in this district, is an amazing teacher, and is my professional mentor. We come here tonight to speak because we are frustrated not only with the recent decisions made, but with the amount of hasty changes to our everyday work schedule that will impede student growth. I am new to your district, and I'm looking at this organization's work culture, and I'm saying, what did I get myself into? Mesa family was completely blindsided by major decisions without district admin ever setting foot into our classes or talking to us about what would be best for our students' well-being and academic growth. Every student, every day, right? These hasty decisions to dismantle programs and to reassign people without complaint really makes me worry about the focus and integrity of our district admin and how the board governs these decisions. Look at what happened at Mesa, or look what's happening at Mesa next year. District admin have been destroying this process that the professionals have been making towards the student growth in reading. Data-driven, data-evident progress destroyed. Remember, student behavior or student outcomes do not change unless adult behaviors change. There is evidence of student growth based on the model designed by your dedicated, professional, effective, boots on the ground educators. And next year, it is just out the window. They went from 52% of their student body being on read plans to only 35% after the schools combined. Targeted small group reading instruction is required by CDE for all students on read plans, and the district's response is that teachers will now be doing the majority of that intervention work alone, since we won't have interventions to help. The district admin have reassigned most of Mesa's interventions staff to other schools. Does the district admin really believe that giving teachers more responsibility, less support, and expecting better results is the way to retain quality staff? The money will not keep the right people in your district. It is about the students, not the pay. Lack of communication and transparency, hasty decisions, lack of teacher input and respect, these are the reasons why people are leaving. There is no trust, and we all know students, your employees, do not learn or work for people that they do not like or trust. As teachers, we know this, and we build relationships with our students. Our teachers, the admin, right, are not taking this issue seriously. If you have questions, please come and ask and show up in our buildings, because the students of Cortez deserve quality teachers in education. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. Mario Davidson. All right.
Good evening. My name is Mario Davidson. I'm a science teacher, father, and a U.S. Army veteran. One of the reasons we are here today is because of the contracts we were asked to sign. Despite holding an all-staff convocation to improve communication, there were more salient points noted in our contracts that were not mentioned at that meeting. Although teachers are exempt employees and do not have contract hours, there was a document in our contracts listing start and end times for all employees that showed an additional half hour per day. For some schools, this adds up to 60 hours per year. The change in work times creates significant issues for many staff members, especially for those who run after-school activities and those with younger children. Many staff members were surprised by this, especially as this would have been an important change to mention at our convocation, prefaced with a reasoning behind it. We received an email yesterday citing reasons for this change that once again make us feel untrusted as professionals. Adding to these specific work hours belittles the many hours that teachers already put in outside our contracts every week. I can personally say that I am up before the sun every day to prep labs, refine lesson plans, and grade student work. So please, give me a student-centered reason why we need additional contract hours during the critical daily transition between my work and home life. If there are individual concerns over whether a teacher is doing the work necessary for this job, that can be addressed by the principals who lead us daily. Additionally, the instructional handbook we were asked to initial is still an incomplete document, and I ask that it be stricken from our contract. We appreciate that it was shared with us, but asking us to sign our names to incomplete protocols and significant contract changes does not build trust in our superintendent. Clarity builds trust. In my short time with the district, I have already seen this trust eroded with pronounced effects. One sign of this erosion is the number of staff members who also chose not to attend this evening because of fear of reprisal from the district. This perception is evidence that trust must be rebuilt, or we risk even greater retention problems. Our requests do not have financial costs, nor do they in any way impede improvements towards student outcomes. Trust between staff and district admin only strengthens teacher retention and student outcomes when we can feel respected as trusted professionals. Thank you.
Thank you. Susie Ding.
My name is Susanna Dean. I started the district in '98, and I've been a teacher, a counselor, and now I'm a third grade teacher. Most of us can probably recall the best boss we've ever had. The best bosses have the ability to coach us and support us to become leaders ourselves. They had a willingness to hear our needs and suggestions, understanding this would improve our abilities. The finest administrators trusted us to perform and treated us with respect. Over the past few years in this district, the superintendents have fallen away from these productive forms of leadership and instead have relied on top-down micromanaging to solve all issues. We understand that there are real and daunting problems facing this district, including low student test scores and the inability to recruit and retain teachers. We understand budget cuts are real. We know some of our aging school buildings are in serious need of expensive solutions. What we are asking is that more of the decision-making and how we deal with these issues be given back to the building administrators and their leadership teams. 2 years ago, Mesa absorbed more than 100 new students with little notice and no additional space in which to teach them. Intervention is taught in the hallways, class sizes increased, and specials teachers traveled with their carts for that year and half the year following. Despite these challenges, we grew 2 steps on our CMAS rating. We made this happen by working as a team, supporting each other to do what was needed. When principals and their staff have input and power in problem solving, the solutions they produce come from a place of being in the building and truly understanding the root of the problem and which staff member might better serve in which capacity. We trust each other to do what we agreed to do. While solutions from those in the district office and in the school buildings may be similar, the perceptions are vastly different. A great author once wrote, quote, "It is the difference between dragged into the arena to face a battle to the death and walking into the arena with your head held high. Some people perhaps would say there was little to choose between those 2 ways, but I knew that there was all the difference in the world," close quote. Staff need to have input, especially on difficult decisions that impact their working environment. We want very much for our schools to be funded and functioning. We want our students to grow academically and socially and be prepared for life beyond high school. We want to bring in and retain qualified, hardworking teachers and staff. There are different opinions about the best way to accomplish these tasks. We are asking for our voices to be heard without fear of reprisal and respected as our district searches for solutions. We would like to once again work as a team with the board and the district to help prepare our students within the confines of our budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Lisa, is that right?
Thank you again, board members, for your time and attention. My name is Alyssa Lycan, and I am an ELA teacher and team lead, and I will be concluding our statements today with some clarity and some hope for change. Let me start with our why. Why do we choose to work in this district? We are here because of the incredible, self-reflective, innovative teachers we work with and the resilient, thoughtful children we work for. We understand that the administration is very focused right now on building up the base pay and that recruiting new teachers rides on that. We support this because we know firsthand that our schools are desperately in need of teachers. I think the community would be shocked to realize that the consequence of understaffed schools is that we will be hiring dozens of non-US citizens to educate our children. The returning staff in this room are the ones who will be supporting these new teachers we bring in and trying to keep the ship moving forward. However, we've begun to feel that the solutions that the district is putting in place are at the expense of the returning teachers. Staff are being moved around the district without being consulted, successful programs are being shut down to fill gaps, and decisions are being made without teacher input. The superintendent often speaks to our staff about the raises he has given us and how much we need to do, accomplish, or take on to deserve those raises. Mr. Burris does not address that there are 2 reasons our schools go understaffed. Money is one, but the other is that the job is hard. Although the salaries are fairly high for our community, few people are signing up to become teachers. We cannot justify raising the pay by adding more to the roles of a teacher, or we will lose the staff we have left. We do not believe that our returning staff should have past or potential future raises held over our heads in order to get us to comply with top-down decisions. Our goal tonight was to present feedback about the district administration to the board and gain time on our contract deadlines to clarify and address problematic changes. Many teachers met to unify our message, but when the district admin became aware of our plans to communicate with the board, we were indirectly dissuaded from speaking, and suddenly yesterday, the day that contracts were due, staff received inadequate explanations and incomplete solutions that should have been provided before contracts were even sent out. The timing of these solutions makes them feel less like positive problem solving and more like an attempt to cover up inadequacies. We want to work in a district where our voices are heard and respected and where we are given the trust and autonomy to do our jobs. In the short term, we would like to have some clarity on our contracts. Unless a student outcome-centered explanation can be given explaining the change in contract hours, we request that the hours remain the same as last year. In the long term, we request that the board work with staff and Mr. Burris to rebuild trust. We request that the board occasionally solicit feedback from the staff on the district administration. We ask that building principals be given back the autonomy to run their buildings in the way that works for each unique staff. MCSD teachers and staff, please stand. Please hear our message and help us to establish a relationship between schools and administration that benefits all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Anyway, Ellen Mays. I see it.
Good afternoon, and thank you for letting me speak to you. My name is Alan Mays, citizen out at Lewis, Colorado. I didn't have anything really pressing that I wanted to address the board with. I just wanted to come and listen to know what is happening here with the school. It's good that you gave the staff, teachers time to be heard tonight, so that's a good positive in my mind. The issue of the survey that's going out tomorrow, I don't know how you collected cell phones, cell phone numbers, if that's how it's going to be done through texting. I can give you my cell phone number and maybe I'll receive a survey. 970-560-5129. The other is exchange teachers. I heard one of the speakers say something about these filling the jobs of that are hard to fill from either the local area or from schools where teachers graduate from. It's a question in my mind because I don't know how well they will be received in the classroom. If they're hard to understand, I hate getting those phone calls where I can't understand folks. So that's going to be an issue for students. So I hope that that is taken into hard account when these teachers are hired during the, when you check them out here, when you vet the teachers here. Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ellen. Kendall Gap.
Are we gonna let Owen's time finish out? Do I get my fresh 3 minutes?
Excuse me.
The time, okay, there we go.
Oh,
Hello, I'm Kendra
Okay.
Gap. I'm a second grade team lead at Mesa. A couple of years ago, our community members, teachers, administrators, and board members worked to create our current vision statement that expanded on every student every day. I had the pleasure of being part of that. Today, I'm here to let you know the upcoming changes are going to leave us short of achieving personal and academic growth, helping students to prepare for their futures, and become successful citizens. The first change, increasing planning time by 40 minutes during what would normally be instructional time, results in educators losing 5,840 minutes of that time, which equates to roughly 97 hours. The only outcome I can foresee would be a lack of academic growth and further loss of literacy skills, leaving all of our students underprepared for their futures. The next change was reducing or eliminating interventionists, resulting in educators being expected to perform their own DIBELS testing along with progress monitoring. According to the DIBELS 8 guide, there are 3 benchmarks and progress monitoring every 2 to 3
weeks for at-risk students. At Mesa, using our current model, we have exited 30 students from read plans this year. This has reduced our students with read plans by 21%. However, if this change is in place, it will result in an additional 120 minutes per week of instructional time being lost when these tests are being performed. This once again affects academic growth, literacy skills, and preparedness. If these changes take place unchecked and unaltered, this district will not become the magnet district, to quote Mr. Burris, that we all desire to become. I am asking you, as board members, to not let what you are hearing fall on deaf ears. Please take these concerns to Mr. Burris and Mr. Ramirez as our representatives. That way we can ensure that RE1 becomes a place that our students and community can be proud of. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sandra. MB.
Everybody, her voice. Hi, everybody. My name's MB McAfee. I don't have anything prepared, and when I gave my note to Deb, I said I may not say anything at all. However, after hearing the teachers talk, well, first of all, my breath was taken away when they all stood up, and you all should have had your breath taken away too. This many teachers have given up a summer evening to come here to represent their views, and they've chosen 5 people to represent the majority of their views, it sounds like to me. And for you teachers, if you haven't done so, you absolutely must give your written comments to the board if you haven't done so. So some of the themes that I've heard had a lot to do with student-centered outcomes. One person even suggested that unless this admin's behavior about trust and honoring perspective and listening to perspective and coming through, following through with things that might be said at meetings, suggested that student behavior doesn't change until adult behavior changes. So I think it's time probably for some adult behavior to change based on what I've heard from teachers tonight. I think it's really, really, really too bad when a teacher stands up here and says to you, the school board, and to Mr. Burris and to the administrators, they fear reprisal were they to speak out loud. Surely people should be able to say what they want to say and what they need to say without fearing for their jobs. That's a very sad statement on our district, on my district. I'm part of this district. I don't know what it will take to restore some trust, but the issue of trust is obviously very big. And another big issue is somehow the school board, I'm looking at you folks, not asking teachers how they're doing or for their input. I mean, that just seems a logical thing to do. Really, it does. And I know your only job is to hire Mr. Burris, but I also think one of your jobs is to really find out how are things going in the classrooms in your district, in our district. What I really hope, I'd like to say trust, but I'm not sure I do. But what I would really hope is that these messages tonight is an eye-opener and will cause new behavior on the part of the adults sitting up here and the adults sitting down here. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. Nikki Crowley.
Thank you, board. 1 year ago, I stood in that room and praised this board. My son graduated with 44 college credits. could graduate from college in 2.5 years because what had been done in this district. I'm sad to say the outcome does not look the same for my daughter, who is currently a junior. My, how things have changed in 1 year. 1 year. I'm not asking for something 10 years ago. I'm asking for something we had 1 year ago. Our advanced and gifted and talented students have been suffering because of teacher turnover. Because this district cannot keep master's level seasoned teachers to educate our students. We stay every student, every day, but I can guarantee our advanced students are not experiencing that. They are left to figure this out on their own or with their parents because the support is not there for our teachers. One way we have differentiated ourselves from the other high schools in this county is by having seasoned educators teaching those advanced classes. The other two high schools, they are taking online classes, not with an educator in building. That is one way we're different. That is a way that we can attract other students. Those are gone now. We have lost so many advanced teachers at the high school, and it breaks my heart. I really think we need to be looking at that teacher retention. Just last month, I sent an email to Superintendent Burris, to our principal, to our president of the board, and the director of HR, advocating to keep one of our advanced teachers because there were multiple students who signed up to take physics because this educator was teaching that class. That educator does need to move to part-time, and if we lose that person, we aren't going to be able to teach that class. We can't get people to come teach here anyway. How are we going to get master's level teachers to help our advanced students? I know for Miss Tracy, she wants to advocate for our advanced students. Please look into this for us. You have said multiple times on this board that those students are important to you. Please look out for them because they're not being looked out for. On that email that I sent May 16th, I got no response from anybody. This is the communication that last month Ms. Blue was talking about, that the community does not feel that we're getting feedback or getting communication from anybody. Just one example right there, because I know that that was questioned. I really feel that the board needs to ask some tough questions. In the superintendent's report this week, or this month I should say, there was talk about advanced classes not making. I know that there are multiple kids signed up for advanced classes. I think it's because we don't have the educators in the building, and we need to look really, really hard at that. What will end up happening is our advanced kids, they'll start looking elsewhere. They'll start looking for other opportunities. And when those SAT scores go away, what does that also mean for our district? We need every student being educated every day to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Keegan Lewis.
As a parent, a school employee, and a community member, I am very concerned about the recent teaching and learning conditions survey and the number of teachers leaving our district. The TLCC survey is an opportunity for teachers to anonymously express their experiences in our school, and according to the results, many teachers are not happy in our district schools. Last month, the results from this survey were shared with families through district email. However, as a charter school employee, I was instantly aware that the significantly higher charter school results were combined with the district schools, making the results look much better than they were. This action, whether intentional or not, covered up the concerns and frustrations of our teachers and also spread an untruth throughout the community that our teachers are satisfied with the current working conditions. Education is the cornerstone of any community. Education levels the playing field in an inequitable society. Every year of education or training a person spends beyond high school increases their earning potential by 10%. While Cortez is a great community, it has many struggles. There is significant inequity where we have millionaires living within miles of families living in poverty. We have illiterate adults, explicit drug use, and growing crime. Many of our empty nesters or single adults without children think they don't need to worry about our schools because they don't have children attending them. But the state of our schools is not a concern for only families with children. It is a concern for everyone. If our schools fail our students, we cannot attract professionals such as doctors, nurses, or more teachers. If our schools aren't graduating our students, then our crime rates go up, our housing values go down, and we lose valuable resources. According to the State Data Lab, our current graduation rate is 69%. Education impacts the entire community. Our teachers are the ones who know our children. The quality of a teacher can be the difference between graduation and failure. If our teachers don't want to be in our schools, why would our students want to continue attending them? While salary is important, many things can outweigh the meager earnings we can offer here with the funding we are given. Our teachers care about our kids. We have some of the most extraordinary teachers here in Cortez. But our teachers cannot continue working in an environment where they are not valued as professionals and where their voices are not heard, respected, or listened to. I urge you as board members to look closely at this data and consider the related data you are receiving through resignations. Where are we bleeding our teachers? Why are they leaving? It's not because of the kids. It's not because of the money. Culture, leadership, choice, respect, and voice play a significant role in teacher retention. You as the board, whether you ran for this position for political reasons or because you cared for our education system, have a significant responsibility. It's time to be data-driven. Look critically at all the data. Our community depends on it.
Thank you, Tegan. Catherine Foster, is that right?
My name is Catherine Foster. I am the president of Southwest Colorado Concerts. Southwest Colorado Concerts has been bringing world-class performances to Cortez and the larger area for 70 years. The 24-25 season will be our 70th year. We really appreciate the support of the board and of the high school administration in allowing the use of the auditorium. It is a wonderful venue. I in particularly want to recognize Nicholas Sender and his wonderful support as liaison between Southwest Colorado Concerts and the school and the theater department. The support that he provides to us and the performers that we bring in is amazing, as is the students that he rounds up to do technical support. It's greatly appreciated. We've received comments from the performers about wonderful support that we get from the student technicians who spend a fair amount of time between the time that the performers arrive and the performance is over in support and technical support, both in lighting and sound checks, everything that it takes to make a really good performance happen for this community. So with the support of our community, we have also, for the last several years, and will do so for this next season, provides free student tickets to all comers. Doesn't matter if they come from, Cortez, Mancos, Dolores, Toyac, wherever. You look like a student, you say you're a student, you get in free. So with your permission, I would like to hand out a flyer that announces what we have planned for this upcoming season. And we will be working with the high school to make sure that goes. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Catherine. Okay, board discussion. Anything from any board members?
Do we want to talk about some of what was mentioned tonight?
That's up to you. Yep.
I guess my big thing is the one thing one gentleman said was that he already works a lot and he works outside of the purview of his time. So
Make sure you're talking to the board though.
yeah, I'll just, I guess in the end, I guess I just don't understand why 30 to 40 minutes is that big a deal. I'll just be completely honest. I mean, a lot of people already go outside of their thing. And again, I understand, I wrote down a whole page full of stuff. I guess I need some more information on this, because even what I wrote down, nobody really got to like a brass tacks of like everybody said something about it's part of our contract or it's this or that, but nobody really said anything specific other than the 30 minutes. So, I mean, I guess I just need more information on this, because it just doesn't make sense.
Okay? Anybody else have? You look like you really want to say something, Paul. Come on.
I do, but I'm afraid of crying because it's moving when the community speaks in such a loud voice, and it's convicting, and I feel like we need to take notice beyond this meeting.
Definitely. I would love to hear or see or have somebody email me. I heard a couple of 3 different times. And for those of you that may be new in the district and stuff that don't know me, I did retire from RE1, 30 years with a lot of these that are out here, Ms. Curtis, Dave. So I've heard a couple of different times, and so I've seen a lot of different things with superintendents, with principals, with whatever. And I heard a couple of you say that there's decisions at the building level that are being driven by the district level, and I would like to have some examples of that. If you would please email me and let me know.
Email all of us.
I'd like specific things.
My email's open and I haven't received much on any of this. So that's why I'm like,
When we talked about communication and stuff, Paul and I went to the high school for the meetings there. Mike and I went to the middle school, and Ms. Cody can, I think, testify this. I think 2 people came up and talked to us afterwards, was it? So, so it's both ways, so guys, on communication. We need your help on it too. So, okay. Anything else from anybody? Okay, Millian Von Defert.